If you want to know India on steroids, you will find all of it here.
I'm about to spend the next few days exploring a religious festival in India with a scale so grand that it's considered the greatest of all time. Imagine 400 million people coming together in a celebration of peace, unity, and faith. I'm seeking to experience 3 key things that make this celebration unique. First, I'm going to speak to some of the mystical naked priests and ask them about their outlook on life. Second, I will take a holy dip in the Ganges River with millions of devoted people and discover why they came here for exactly that reason. Third, I'll have the chance to capture the grand processions of the Hindu spiritual leaders up close. But on this peak day, a festival goer's worst fear became reality. A stampede with multiple casualties where I just barely made it out.
This was crazy.
Needless to say, this is going to be an emotional roller coaster, and I'm grateful that you're here to explore this once-in-a-lifetime event with me. Before we fully dive in, let me introduce myself. I'm Simon, and I believe a change in perspective reveals a whole new universe. I'm exploring the world to discover life through different eyes and prove what often feels foreign is in fact extraordinary. Welcome to Changeways, a place for stories that might just change the way you see the world.
We're here in Prayagraj, a place that you've probably never heard of before, but this city is hosting the greatest gathering of humanity in history, the Maha Kumbh Mela. We are here to personally get to know some of the millions of devotees coming to the festival. Holy men, foreigners, Indians from every part of society. Let's learn firsthand what draws them to this mega event and what role their spiritual beliefs are playing in their lives.
Before we arrive in the heart of the festival, it's important to also understand the why. The reason behind this grand pilgrimage of the Hindus. And for that, we have to dive into the mythological backstory of Samudra Manthan, or the churning of the ocean of milk, one of the most central events in the everlasting struggle for supremacy between the gods known as Devas and the demons known as Asuras in Hinduism. Legend has it that they joined forces in a desperate quest to obtain Amrit, the nectar of immortality. But as soon as the sacred elixir emerged, the fragile alliance collapsed, igniting a cosmic battle where they fought fiercely over the nectar. 4 precious drops were spilled down upon 4 sacred sites across India, with one of them being Prayagraj, where we are standing right now.
Now we are crossing the river Ganga to visit some of the Sadhu camps, and there our goal is to learn more about their way of life.
Sadhus are ascetic holy men who renounce all worldly possessions and family life to seek spiritual enlightenment. They often cover their body with ash, sometimes adding colorful paint, and are very mystical people. Highly respected in Indian society, they perform many rituals for their communities and rely on donations from others to survive. In Hindu belief, true sadhus embody the divine, representing the path to eternal spiritual liberation.
Let's go and find some people that are interested in speaking to us. I believe that's not going to be too hard.
आप यहाँ आने वाले लोगों से क्या बोलना चाहते हैं?
फाइनली हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा एक स्वाभिमान है और हमारा गर्व है और हमारा पर्व भी है और सबके लिए आशीर्वाद की मनोकामना करना, मंगलमय की मनोकामना करना कि सबको ऐसा सबके लिए विश्व कल्याण के लिए सबकी सब बुद्धि बढ़े, बल बुद्धि बढ़े, आत्म बल बढ़े, भक्ति बढ़े, ज्ञान बढ़े, नाम स्मरण शक्ति बढ़े, यही सबके लिए आशा।
ये लोग की सबको एक बात बोलने है तो वो क्या होगा?
परोपकार करना ही सबसे बड़ा धर्म और पुण्य है और दूसरे को परपीड़न मतलब कष्ट देना ही सबसे बड़ा पाप है। यही कहना चाहता हूँ। व्यास जी ने 18 पुराणों में केवल एक श्लोक में 2 वचन कहे, परोपकार पुण्याय पापाय परपीड़नम। जो दूसरों को कष्ट दे उससे बड़ा पापी नहीं है कोई, और जो परोपकार करता रहे दूसरों के लिए, जो जीता है उससे बड़ा धर्मात्मा नहीं है कोई।
After we received the blessings, we met one sadhu posing for a selfie, and that presented the perfect opportunity to ask one of my pressing questions.
Baba, ek sawal pooch le.
I wanted to learn about his perspective on the influence of the digital world, or in this context, of phones, on us in society today.
देखो, जो डिजिटल है आजकल अच्छा भी है, लेकिन इसका मिसयूज ज़्यादा है। भाई अच्छा चलो भाई एक दूसरे से संपर्क करने के लिए था, लेकिन आजकल लाइफ ख़राब कर रहा है बच्चों के मित्रता जो आपस में संपर्क थे, यार दोस्त थे, उनको भी भूल जाता मोबाइल के चक्कर में। मोबाइल से लगा रहता है, कोई फ्रेंड तो बनाता ही नहीं वो, तो कोई भाईचारा यार दोस्त सभी से छूट गया। ये मोबाइल डेंजर।
This truth served as a simple but powerful reminder for me to nurture the connections with the people that I hold dearest. As we ventured on, we also got to interview 2 Europeans about their experience at the festival so far.
Hi, I'm Antonio. I'm from Italy. I've been coming to India for nearly 20 years. Every time I come to India, I learn something. And this is like a university of life. I would say if you want to know India, on steroids, you will find all of it here. You will find beggars, thieves, acrobats, traders, devoted people. You will find gods, you will find scammers, literally everything, and it's just beauty and misery and life and joy, and it's all of it at the same time. Just come, get the ticket and come.
I would say that in India you always feel very welcome. People cannot be more humble, nice, friendly, and it's true that you can experience the whole spectrum of emotions in just 5 minutes, but this is the thing that is really awesome. So I really recommend to come here and experience India, people, the food, the culture, the spirituality, everything.
So we've walked around the Kumbh Mela for several hours now, and there's so much going on at the same time. There's street sellers, there's artists, there are yoga sessions, there's free food given out. Millions of people trying to make their way to whatever they want to do here.
As our first day at the Kumbh Mela was slowly coming to a close, we took our chance to watch the sunset overlooking the giant festival grounds.
First day resume, beyond comprehension. These thousands and thousands of lights are not even closely to explaining how many people are walking below those lights. And apparently it's not going to get less, even not during the night. In 1.5 days, there's the peak day of the entire Kumbh Mela. Yeah, I don't know how you can even cram more people inside these spaces, but it's an incredible, absolutely incredible experience so far. Standing above the river Ganga right now is also a great moment to explain why this festival is actually happening here in Prayagraj, and why over there at the Triveni Sangam, the people are all aiming to go for their holy bath. This is because at this place here, there are 3 of the most holy rivers in Hinduism flowing together. It's the confluence of the Ganga, the Yamuna, and the river Saraswati that only exists in the mythological world. Also, the Maha Kumbh happens at this time of the year because of very special celestial constellations that really promise a very powerful, energetic field around the space of Prayagraj. And now look at that. When I said energetic field, everything went off. There's a power outage.
Jupiter plays a crucial role in determining the timing and significance of the Kumbh Mela. It takes approximately 12 years for the planet to orbit the Sun, and each time the cycle nears its completion, it represents the holiest period in Hinduism. This Kumbh happens now after 12 12-year cycles, so only once every 144 years the celestial alignments are extra powerful, making it the most holy event in our entire lifetime.
Day 2, Kumbh Mela. We're entering the festival grounds, the sun's going up. We're just going with the flow, with the sea of people. Let's get started. Strangely, I really feel a sense of peace going with so many people towards the Triveni Sangam. People are even here with their families, there are chants, folk songs are being sung, there's an overall positive attitude, and everybody is heading towards the bathing ghats to take the holy dip.
Including us walking towards the Sangam, but the closer we got, the more dense became the crowd. We were barely able to move and got completely trapped in the masses of devotees until we finally made it to the spot, marking the final destination for the pilgrims, the confluence of the 3 holy rivers.
The flood of pilgrims arriving here to celebrate their spirituality, that universal sense of togetherness and the peace in the chaos is radically changing my understanding of what it means to be human in a modern world that is so desperately focused on making us feel unique. Still, humanity is gathering around one idea that matters so much to each and every one of them, that every 18th person on the planet is traveling all the way to Prayagraj. Central to the Maha Kumbh Mela experience is the ritualistic act of bathing in the sacred river Ganga, called the Shahi Snan. It signifies purification and an act of cleansing the body and the soul. It is believed that a dip in this river washes away your sins from 7 lifetimes, breaking the chains of karma and offering moksha, the liberation from the cycle of life and death. We don't know if people actually achieve moksha, but what we do know is that the experience of taking the dip with 400 million people who come here for precisely that reason is absolutely exceptional. Wow, look at this. This is insane. This is simply insane.
And then it was my turn.
Feeling a little bit nervous because can't say it too loud, but this river is not only the most sacred river, but also the most polluted river in India. So, the world, one of the most polluted rivers in the world. This is insane. Masses and masses of people. Let's hope everything is going to go well. Let's start this.
I decided that I wanted to feel what hundreds of millions of devotees came here to seek and not just be an observer. Suddenly, I was part of a collective celebration, sharing a ritual rooted far beyond the material world with a sea of people. I dipped my hat in the water 7 times to get liberated from my sins of 7 lifetimes. Even though I look very clumsy, saying yes to this for me meant learning something from a radically different point of view, and that was invaluable.
How was it? Crazy, like bathing with thousands of people at the same time. Apparently, I'm freed from the cycle of life and death right now. My sins from my past 7 lifetimes and this ones are forgiven. Good karma forever. I think that was worth it. The water was very cold. It's just an incredible testimony of people coming together to celebrate their faith, their belief. No other words for that.
What happened that same night at exactly that spot was tragic and shocking.
fatal stampede at a religious festival in northern India,
where at least 7 people have been reported killed and many more injured.
Tragedy struck after pilgrims rushed to participate in a sacred day of ritual bathing. The incident took place on Mauni Amavasya, the most significant day of the festival, where local authorities expect a record 100 million devotees to converge on the area.
What started as a joyful experience in anticipation for spiritual liberation for some, ended with innocent pilgrims having to pay with their lives. We were just a few meters away and barely fought our way out of the crowd.
This was crazy. We were in that crowd crammed for the past hour or so. There was no way we could move. Anyhow, we were lucky that the police and our media badge now got us to this platform. This is just insanity. We saw ambulances coming out non-stop. Apparently people also died there. We just saw people screaming, fainting, beating each other. It's certainly not all just roses. From when you stand above in the media tower and you look to the masses of people, it looks like quite a obviously powerful picture to have. But when you're inside these crowds, believe me, it's not fun. It's insane. There's a huge pressure not only on the police and the military, but on every single person there. It's hard to stay calm. You have to go with the flow. It's almost impossible to move in the direction where you would want to move if it's not the same as everybody else. It's just a sea of people. There's no end. There's no beginning and no end. And maybe even the government is right that there are 100 million devotees coming just today, on that single day. That's ironically even called the Day of the Silence, where all the monks and all the people who are following the Hindu belief system are supposed to be staying silent until after they took the holy dip. At the end of the day, in Mauni Amavasya, the Day of the Silence, seems to be by far the most chaotic day of the festival. So right now, the energy and the intensity is increasing. I'm feeling something's gonna happen soon. And actually, the thing that we are all here for is gonna happen, which is the Naga Sadhus coming to go to the Ganga to take their holy dip, because right before sunrise, it's the most auspicious time to do that.
After many hours of waiting, as the processions got postponed because of the stampede in the night, the moment everyone was waiting for finally arrived. The grand procession of the different Sadhu orders was about to start. Now, having spent 3 days at this mega event, one message gets more and more clear to me. Spirituality is as much part of our physical world as it's rooted within our beliefs. It's the stories that make us dream, get inspired, and identify with one another no matter our backgrounds. It's a universal and invisible web that holds us together as human beings, like our shared ability to believing in greater worlds. The Maha Kumbh Mela is perhaps the greatest testimony of all time for exactly that. And now it's part of who I am, who you are, and who we are as a collective. See you in the next adventure.
Ganapati Kumbh Mela.